Winslop
There is transforming wasteland into community gardens. Charlie's Garden Army is on shortly. Here on BBC One, a special one-off comedy, sibling rivalry put to the test as Gregor Fisher stars in Brotherly Love.
Been at the site, eh?
No, I've just been for afternoon tea at Fortnum and Mason's and I'm a sloppy eater.
Hello, Frank. Hector here, your brother. Frank, I don't really want to leave unpleasant news on a machine. So, could you call me back, and I'll tell you when the funeral is. Frank, it's me, Hector, your brother again. Sorry, didn't mean to alarm you there. Look, I'll get straight to the point.
Good.
Uncle Archie died last night. A heart attack. He didn't suffer. The funeral's on Thursday, so hope to see you. This is your brother, Hector.
Frank, a word about these flaming drainage channels.
They'll have to wait. I've got to go to a funeral.
Morning, Mrs. Galbraith. Take a seat in the waiting room, if you can find one.
Morning, Mrs. Grogan.
Dr. Robertson.
Was that Mrs. Galbraith? She's never had a day's illness in her life. She's the healthiest woman I know, apart from her mother, that is.
I think Mrs. Galbraith's here because your uncle owed her money.
Mrs. Grogan, my uncle owed everybody money. Oh, I see. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just like to point out that this is a doctor's surgery, and unless your visit is for a medical purpose, you should leave immediately. I know my uncle was rather free with his borrowing. I know his pub had certain financial difficulties, but the man only died 2 days ago, for goodness sake. Don't think there's any need for such vulgar haste to be repaid.
I'd better start a list of creditors. I'll put you at the top, Doctor, as I know I owed you £50.
No need, Mrs. Grogan. I took the money out of the till while we were waiting for the ambulance.
Billy Bolster, wipe your feet. And that smile off your face. We're preparing for a funeral. Not that I ever liked the man.
Let's face it, Mrs. Grogan. You never liked any man.
I married Mr. Grogan, didn't I?
Especially him. Right, Doctor. I've come to fix a swivel chair. What's wrong with it?
Well, for a start, Billy, it doesn't swivel. Or rather, well, it does swivel, it doesn't de-swivel. Unswivel. Let me show you. Imagine you're a patient, right?
I'd rather not, Doctor. I'm allergic to illness.
No. I ask you what's wrong with you, right? Blah, 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 blah. I then turn around to get your notes, and then, well... I mean, it's not very reassuring for the patient to have the doctor with his back to you. Billy, could you hurry up?
I've only just started.
Kate Cameron's just walked up the drive.
It's about time she was walking up the aisle.
Really?
Remember, as kids, she always said she'd marry you or Frankie.
She did, didn't she? Frank's already married, of course. Mind you, I'm not sure if I'm her type.
You need to stop waggling your backside.
Does it do that when I walk quickly?
It damages the nuts. The chair.
The chair.
Come on, Kate, you want to get off your backside. She's been backing in for Corrie for 3 months now, and you've not made the slightest move.
Doctor, is Miss Cameron to see you?
Send her in, Mrs. Grogan. Kate, what an unexpected pleasure.
Hector, what an unexpected position.
This is how I examine children. Get down to their level, puts them at their ease, makes them feel calm, you know. If not, hit them with this.
I'd like to give you one of my paintings.
Oh, heavens, how nice. Oh, my, the colours are so colourful, aren't they?
It's called Tranquility.
Oh, tranquility, yes. The tranquility just screams out at you, doesn't it? Well, it doesn't scream.
I thought you might like to hang it in here, where you'll always see it.
Huh?
You really shouldn't have stuff like this on display, Hector. I did 2 years of art therapy, and this sort of pathetic effort just reminds the child of how inadequate they are as a painter, and therefore as a person.
Right, well, I'll get Billy to hang this right away.
I'm so glad you like it. I'll pop by later when Frank gets here. I'm dying to see him.
Oh, my, she's turned out a bonny lassie. A wee stoat, a right bobby dazzle, right?
Billy, could you hang this there?
Instead of your own wee masterpiece. I remember when you painted that. You were about 12, I think.
Just hang it, will you?
Which is the right way round?
Facing the wall, I think. There we are.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Doctor, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
It's just that I was wondering, as I'm making the drinks delivery to your uncle's bar, and what with him being dead and that, and me making all the funeral arrangements and the food as well, who exactly do I give the bill to?
Billy, a man has died. A man who stood behind the bar at Robertson's for as long as I can remember. A man who is no longer with us. A man who is gone. You know what I'm saying, Billy?
Aye, I'll no bloody well get paid.
There is no need to swear. Throughout our 45 years of married life, Mr. Grogan never swore.
Let's face it, throughout your 45 years of married life, you never spoke.
Billy Bolster, how are you?
Thank you, my boy.
Doctor, he's here.
Hello. And you must be Mrs. Gorgon. Hector's mentioned you in his letters. Mrs. Gorgon did this, Mrs. Gorgon did that.
It's Grogan. Mrs. Grogan.
Is it? It's my brother's handwriting, it's awful. It's so bad, we always knew you'd become a doctor.
Frank.
Hector! I've just been telling Mrs. Grogan how I can never read your terrible handwriting.
Oh, I know. That's why I always type my letters to Frank.
Hi, Mrs. Gorgon.
Called her Mrs. Gorgon?
Oh, don't worry about Mrs. Grogan. Now, this all right for you?
Fine.
I prefer the 12-year-old malt myself. So, how's the work going? You always had such big ideas, didn't you? You were going to design buildings that people would love and Prince Charles would hate. So, what's your latest pièce de résistance?
A car park.
Oh!
A supermarket car park.
Oh, well, no chance of Prince Charles seeing that then, eh?
Hector, I hate my job. I can't stand my boss. London's getting bigger and busier. I'm fed up. So, how are things in Invercory?
Oh, well, you know Invercory, nothing ever changes round here, thank goodness. Actually, that's a lie. You'll never guess who's moved back. Kate Cameron?
Wee posh Katie Cameron.
Well, hardly. She's bigger and posher than ever she was. and in my opinion, a very attractive woman. She's a painter, you know, an artist.
What's her stuff like?
You tell me, this is one of hers here.
Hey, that's very good.
Do you think so? Reminds me of one of those calendars that drug reps give you, you know. These are paintings by people whose lives have been improved by Prozac. Otherwise, it doesn't seem to improve their painting skills.
I really do like it.
You do? It's called Tranquility. Gives me trigeminal neuralgia just to look at it.
Remember when we were kids? We were always asking her which one of us she'd marry.
Oh, yes. Well, she's not married, and neither am I. Fancy another?
No. I'll have some of your 12-year-old malt.
Oh, there's...
Hector. I suppose I really ought to have told you this before. I'm getting divorced.
From Margaret?
Of course from Margaret. That's who I was married to.
You mean you're no longer together?
That's right. That's the sort of divorce we're getting. The no longer together kind.
See? So, what happened?
Last year, we were on holiday skiing in Switzerland. We'd only been there 3 days. And Margaret confessed to having an affair with our ski instructor.
Our ski instructor?
Yeah. You see, he told me she needed private lessons.
Frank, I actually think it's best you don't talk about this.
No, it's better if I do. Come to terms with it.
No, you don't understand, Frank. I mean, talk about it round here in Invercory. I mean, you've got to appreciate my position here. I mean, I'm in the church choir. I'm nearly a magistrate. I'm a prospective parish councillor. I mean, divorce is relatively unheard of round here, Frank. It's like homosexuality on Channel 5.
I can't not mention her. People will want to know why she isn't here.
I wouldn't worry about it, Frank. I mean, you're only here for 2 or 3 days. Just say she's had a nervous breakdown. Anything mental usually shuts people up round here.
I can't believe we're going to walk into Robertson's and Uncle Archie won't be standing behind the bar.
Bum and drink Sophie's friends.
Overcharging everyone else.
Look, if it helps, Frank, Uncle Archie didn't want his funeral to be a sad affair. He wanted a good send-off. He even left some money for it.
What? He never parted with a penny in his life.
Well, he left £20.
20 quid for a boozer?
Well, no. They're funny paper hats.
Well, at least they'll brighten up the wake.
He wants them to be worn at this service.
Wow. This place hasn't changed a bit since we were kids.
It's always a bit gloomy, though, wasn't it? Turn on some lights. Cheer it up a bit.
Oh, that's much, much cheerier.
This is strictly against the hygiene laws.
I wish you were whiskey. I wish you were whiskey. I would drink you dry.
Billy, where is Uncle Archie?
Oh, he's still at the mortuary. You see, Doctor, what with me being funeral director and a drinks deliverer, it was either pick up the booze for the cash and carry in a hearse, or be seen picking up your deceased uncle for the morgue in a van with a sign on it saying, "Our beer has mere body."
Better have a look in this.
What is it?
This is Uncle Archie's filing system. Unpaid bills, Final demands. Oh, here we are. Last will and testament. Well, at least it's not a bill.
No, but this is a solicitor's bill for drawing up his last will and testament.
Frank, why don't you nip behind the bar? Pour a couple of large ones.
Sure it's okay?
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll square it with the new owner.
Oh, yeah? And who is the new owner?
It's you, Frank.
Me? Wow! This! All mine! A pub! Hey, I could chuck my rotten job in London and move back here.
Now, I wouldn't be too hasty if I were you, Frank.
No, you wouldn't, would you, Hector? That's the difference between you and me. You've got to seize the moment. Here, have a 25-year-old bottle of malt whiskey on the house.
Steady on now, Frank. I mean, if Uncle Archie knew what you're doing, he'd turn in his mortuary drawer.
Come on, Hector, cheer up. Let's celebrate. Here's to the end of my bad luck.
So you told him he'd inherited the pub, but you didn't tell him it was up to his roof tiles in debt.
Well, I couldn't, Mrs. Grogan. You should have seen the look of joy in his face just before he fell down the cellar.
Oh dear, did he hurt himself?
No. He landed in Billy Bolster.
That was lucky.
Mrs. Grogan, it's not going to be easy giving my brother the bad news. I mean, I've already dropped a couple of hints that Uncle Archie left a few debts, you know.
A few? Be easier to count the folk he doesn't owe. For a start, he hasn't paid me 3 weeks' money for helping out in the pub.
Mrs. Grogan, I really do not know why you work there in the first place. I mean, do I not pay you enough money for working here?
No.
Right, well, just make sure you tell my brother how much my uncle owed you.
Oh, it's you? I heard Mr. Robertson had landed on something lumpy. Did you break anything?
Yes. Mr. Robertson's fall. Well, Doctor, he's fairly tickled at being a pub owner. He's been practising shouting last orders. Doctor, when would it be a good time for me to mention the £1,100 he owes me?
£1,100? Good God, Billy, you only work there part-time 3 nights a week as a cellarman. When were you last paid? When you left school?
See, I paid for his booze at the cash and carry with my credit card, and he paid me cash.
He wasn't allowed credit there?
He wasn't allowed within a 12-mile radius of the place.
I see. Well, I don't think this is the best time, Billy. Frank's gone to see the minister.
How much does your uncle owe him?
No, Billy, he's going to talk about the funeral. Frank wants to take charge.
God help us.
Well, that all seems satisfactory, Frank. I always try to accommodate the deceased's last wishes wherever possible, and I have no real objection to party hats being worn at the service, as long as they are of a religious nature.
Mrs. Grogan's very kindly converting some of the party hats into halos.
She's a saint. Oh, by the by, is your wife here? I'd love to meet her.
No, she isn't. We're no longer together.
What? What do you mean no longer together?
She's dead.
Oh, laddie, I'm so sorry. I'd no idea. Hector never told me.
Oh, he doesn't like to talk about it. He was very upset.
How did you...
A skiing accident in Switzerland.
Oh.
A ski instructor landed on top of her.
Mr. Robertson, you're just in time for afternoon tea on the patio. Doctor, your brother's back.
So, Mrs. Grogan, did you hear I'd inherited the pub?
Yes, I did, Mr. Robertson. I'm sorry to bring this up, but you know I did a spot of cleaning at the pub.
Really? Well, I'm sure you did a great job. I hope you continue.
Well, that depends. You see, your uncle was a bit behind with my wages. He owed me £30.
Say no more, Mrs. G. His dust is now my dust. As indeed his debts are now my debts. There's your £30. While the wallet's open, anyone else?
He owed me 11...
Billy! Not the time or the place.
No. Here you are, Billy. 2 fivers and a single.
Come away in. Frank's in the garden.
Hector, I've just seen the minister, and he told me the terrible news about Frank's wife.
Oh, he told him, did he? He just had to, didn't he? He just had to. That's me out the choir.
What?
Frank, look who's here.
Wee Katie Cameron.
Wee Frankie Robertson.
Gosh. The last time we met, it was buck teeth, snotty nose, hair in bunches, and that was just me.
So, let's have some tea. Kate, you sit beside me.
Thank you.
Frank.
So, Kate, an artist, eh?
Oh, I try.
I'm the proud owner of one of our masterpieces.
So, Frank, I hear you're a highly successful architect, then?
Well, not really.
Oh, come on. Don't hide your light under a bushel. Tell Kate about some of the exciting things you've been designing.
I don't think Kate would be interested.
I'm sure she would.
What I do isn't exciting.
I'm sure it is. Come on, tell me.
Well, at the moment, I'm working on a supermarket car park.
A car park? I mean, not just an ordinary car park. It's a supermarket car park. I mean, a lot of people would think that's just a kind of flat black space with sort of white lines on it, but... Well, I'm sure it's very complicated.
No, it isn't. It's boring. Anyway, I've inherited Uncle Archie's pub.
No. Well, that means you're my boss.
What?
Yes. I work there part-time.
Oh! Can I ask you something?
£38.50.
Oh, excuse me, I'll better get that. Mrs. Grogan's gone to get her hair done for the funeral. As if one tragedy wasn't enough.
There you go.
Thanks. Listen, Frank, I know what happened with your wife.
Ah.
I know it must be very difficult to talk about, but if you need to, well, I'm a very good listener.
Well, I suppose the thing that shocked me most was that it happened 3 days into our first holiday for years.
How awful.
And then when Margaret... Well, you know, I just had to fly home. And you know, when I got to Gatwick, I went to the tour operator. I tried to get a refund for the 11 days holiday we still had to run. They refused.
It's for you, Frank. Mr. Garvey?
It's my boss. What's it? Hello?
Frank been entertaining you then?
Hardly. He's been talking about his wife.
Oh, I know. Must say it came as a bit of a shock to me, I can tell you.
He seemed rather annoyed about not getting a refund out of the holiday company.
He would have stood a much better chance if he had just videoed the whole damn thing that Anne Robinson's always telling us to do.
Drainage channels. Ask the site manager. But I know he's useless. Well, you employed him, so what does that make you? Look, Garvey, I don't want to know about all this. I'm up here for a funeral. You don't pay me enough to ring me when you feel like it.
He's only getting a divorce. He told the minister his wife was dead. Oh, that's awful.
I know.
I told him to say she'd had a nervous breakdown.
Oh, much less awful.
Well, I thought so. Oh, he's going to have to put up with a lot more unpleasantness when he realises the pub he's inherited is worthless.
When are you going to tell him?
We just need to pick the right moment.
Well, I don't need your stinking job, you pompous, overweight oaf. I own a pub.
I think you've just missed the moment.
Yeah, you know, one of those things you're in every day from 12:30 to 4. And I'll tell you something else, you fat git.
Frank, don't give up your job. The pub is up to here in debt. It owes a fortune.
What?
No, it's true, Frank. Uncle Archie owed tax, rates, VAT, even the charity tins are stuffed with IOUs.
It's not worth a penny, Frank, not a penny. Sorry.
So, is it the storm drainage channels, or... He's hung up. God, Hector, the minister!
Oh, don't worry, I squared it with him. He knows your wife's still alive. He promises not to mention it.
Thanks, Hector.
You told the minister she's divorcing Frank.
No. I said she was in an institution for the criminally insane. Which is where my brother should be. Look at him.
Well, the week's going well. I'm telling you, Hector, running a pub. There's nothing to it.
Maybe I'll just have a pint of lager while I'm waiting for this to settle.
Listen, Hector, I'm going to sell my flat in London, pay off the debts, and make a go of this place.
Frank, you know nothing about running a bar. 2 minutes after you inherited the place, you fell down the cellar.
Well, I think I'm running the place pretty well already. I mean, look around you.
Of course you are. When you're giving it away for nothing. Look at them. They're like gannets. I think they'd never seen food before.
Here you are, Doctor. Just what you asked for. 2 of everything.
Here's your lager.
Maybe I'll just have a drink of water while I'm waiting for this to settle.
Sorry, Hector.
Don't worry, Frank. I can teach you all about pouring pints. I owe you one. After all, you were the one who taught me all about sex.
You what?
Really?
You gave me a very thorough demonstration. Using sooty and sweep.
Oh.
Well, that is just disgusting. They were my puppets. I've often wondered why they got so raggedy and torn with their eyes hanging out.
Very nice funeral, Billy.
Oh, it was nothing, Frankie. You did most of the organising yourself.
Billy, we need some more bottled beer up from the cellar.
Right you are, boss.
You know, Hector, maybe I could make a go of this place. There's nothing left for me down south. No wife, no job. I feel as though I've come home for a new beginning. I mean, look at Scotland with its own government again. There's a new sense of pride and hope for me, as well as this nation. It's so strong, I almost believe I can hear the pipes playing.
You can hear the pipes playing. Big Donald the Piper was booked to play 6 tunes at the funeral. So far I've only heard 4. Told him he's not getting paid until I've heard them all. Frank, you might make a good landlord after all.
Billy! From now on, no more of these. We'll use proper crates. Don't want to upset the punters. Uncle Archie!
Uncle Archie!
Big Train, Never Mind the Buzzcocks with Boy George and Suggs, and The Royal Family at 10. The Friday Night Comedy Zone just about to get underway on BBC Two.
Watch out, it's Saturday night.